Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and this is my talk-through video of my performance at Desert Brutality 2021, which was held at the Cobalt Kinetics range in St. George, Utah. Organised by Carl of InRange and Russell Fagan, aka Sinister Rifleman, and a fantastic range crew. It was an absolutely awesome match and one of the most brutal yet. In fact, it was brutal not on the physical front only, but also on the accuracy front. And we got shots out to 550 yards, that's about 500 meters, with rifle, pistol and DMR. I shot Cold War division, meaning that I could go high speed, low drag on the gear, but I was using as DMR Carl's NDM-86 in 308 Win, which is a Chinese SVD Dragunov knockoff basically. Ian's Armalite AR-180 made by Howa with a wobbly butt, which I didn't actually notice, and his Israeli surplus Browning high power. Wasn't shooting an AK, I've just got this here in case I feel I need to demonstrate something, and I've got my commercial high power, which should we just say is a little bit of a different beast to the one I was shooting. But anyway, thank you all for helping out with that and providing GATs and ammo, and I just say another thanks to the range crew because it was absolutely fantastic. Now there'll be content here, content on InRange, Forgotten Weapons, Sinister Rifleman, other random channels, and of course our friends Varusteleka, because Jenny and Yari were there as well, putting in a great performance. Divisions wise, as I said, I was shooting Cold War division. There was also Classic, which is sort of up to the end of World War II. There was also Armored plus P, which is the full sort of helmet and plates. And all of those divisions used DMR, rifle and pistol. There was also Partisan, which you could go high speed, low drag, but you were only allowed a pistol and a rifle. And in fact, the top two places were taken by Zach and Russell Fagan in Partisan division, which was pretty cool. So look out for their content elsewhere. Anyway, enough of the blah blah. If you don't like the blah blah, there's another version of this video that'll publish a few days later where it's just the shooting and no me being an idiot on the sofa here. So you can go look at that. If you want a sneak preview and you're seeing this on the first couple of days it's put up, there's actually already a link in the description below, so you can just crack on and ignore me here. So anyway, our first stage of the day was stage 4, which was possibly the most epic Casada drill yet, because it starts at 300 meters with the DMR. And it goes like this. Now, I've not had the chance to shoot this yet. I was relying on Carl Zero, and everyone's Zero is a little bit different due to the way you hold and so on.
Stand by!
And we're off.
High.
So what I'm having to do here is work out where it's shooting for me and aim off.
Low.
The targets are not very big.
Right. Hold right. Hot quarter of the target. Hit! Hit! Boom!
There we go. Got it.
I'm having to aim off high and left. Yep. Okay. You can fix it.
35 pound, 16 kilo kettlebell, and you've got to keep to the left a bit, otherwise there's a dip from which you can't really see the target. Oop, safety catch. So I'm wearing a prototype Varusteleka Recon chest rig, proper high-speed, low-drag thing, which was great. And I had my rifle mags in the middle and the DMR mags on the right in the utility pouch. Oh, I see all the moon dust being kicked up by the muzzle blast there. There we go.
Keep that point of aim. You're doing good.
Okay, now I found the point of aim and we're getting a little bit closer to the target. Now there were 5 lines in the sand to get over. 15-second bonus for each.
Move!
And so 75-second maximum bonus. And this kettlebell is 4 kilos lighter than I'm used to, so I'm actually managing to throw it better than usual. There we go. In case you're wondering, that's a Finnish MO4 Desert camouflage.
Hey! Move!
Safety on, swing and yeet that thing. Bipod was a game changer. I'm not sure how I'd have done without it. I know how I'd done without it. It would have been awful. Ah, the rifle didn't lock back that time. I had a couple more mags in Sako TRG pouches on my belt. Whee!
Hey! Get over the line right here. Big throw.
I didn't quite make it over the last line there.
Hit! Move the kettlebell over the line.
In one.
Go pro down the line and give you a second hit.
And then I'm out. So that was a timeout, 4 bonuses, 60th equal out of 144 overall, 8th out of 25 in Cold War Division. And we actually used the opportunity then to adjust the sights a bit for me. But if you want to see that, you need to watch the other video with just the shooting.
Yeah.
So stage 5 now, the infamous sled drag.
Ready, stand by.
So these are the first shots I've ever fired with this Browning. It shoots very much the sights, but the sights have been filed down, which you'll be able to see, and white outlined, which was not ideal in any way, shape or form, and the trigger was appalling. So nail them, go to the middle. Normal people without a mag safety would drop the mag and then fire that shot. I had to shoot it and then show clear. And Davis, our cameraman, was doing very well at keeping up with me. So drag the sled, which weighed God knows how much. Lots. And I didn't put the strap over me because I was worried about getting it tangled in the rifle. So again, I've not shot this before. First rounds I fired with this thing. And I actually use the iron sights because it's only about 50 meters. 2, 3, or yards, whatever. 5, so 12 shots on alternate flappy targets there.
9, 10,
oh, missed one.
11, 12,
drop the mag, then another high value target, hit or miss. Took a bit of time, even though it was big. Hit, rifle's clear, leave it. Now I put it over my shoulder. Perfect example of do everything other than the shooting fast, and then shoot as fast as you think you can make the hits. So back to the pistol with mag in hand, and basically repeat the exercise from the other side. One shot, and there we are. 187.05 seconds, 160-second penalty, unfortunately. 72nd overall and 10th in Cold War.
127.05.
So that was a really cool stage, but I saw several people make a slight unforced error shooting through the tyre, because you often think, okay, this is my comfort zone, I can just kneel or whatever, or shoot unsupported. But it's not your comfort zone, it's brutality. Brutality is nobody's comfort zone. And as I discovered at last Desert Brutality, even if you think something is easy at the start of a stage, I mean, what I did there was I tried to take some shots offhand, even though I hadn't been running or anything beforehand, but I just came unstuck because it's brutality. If you can rest the rifle, do rest the rifle. So the obvious thing to do there was just to rest the rifle on the inside of the tyre and jobbed. But the acoustics in the tyre are always fun, shall we say. Right, on to stage 6 now, the grenade launcher stage. Now this actually starts out with a cannon with a tennis ball, and you shoot at the vehicle, and if it gets into the vehicle you don't have to engage 4 of the targets. But yeah, a lot of people waited to see whether they'd got it in or not, and I just fired it and went, because he'll tell you, the RO will tell you whether you hit or not. You don't need to wait for the tennis ball to get there. There's 4 targets through there. The 4 targets I wouldn't have had to engage if I'd actually made the tennis ball shot. A tendency to shoot low by mashing the trigger on this thing. Moon dust in my mag pouches making it difficult to pull them out. Some things you don't think about.
Mag, show clear. Clear.
Clear holster. And then we've got a VTAC wall and a fairly easy target at about 50 meters. And I thought, I've got this little 20 rounder mag. That'll be good. It means I'll get lower at the end of the VTAC wall. Uh-oh. Again, using the irons. Jammed. It looked okay. So I tried it again. No.
Yeet.
Go for the mag I know is good.
Plenty of time. Hit.
Now on the VTAC wall, the irons make it easier because you don't have to lean the rifle as much as you do with the higher scope.
Hit.
With this mag, this rifle runs like an absolute champ.
Hit. Hit. One more.
And luckily I can get low enough. 123.86 seconds, 82nd overall, 15th in Cold War. Now on to stage 7 now. This is a DMR and rifle stage, and we've got rifle targets at 100 yards, 85 yards and 220 yards, and the same 220 yard target is used with the DMR, and then there's one at 315, 400 and 550, and an excellent spotter. The RO, sorry, I'm terrible with names, can't remember who you are, but you helped me very much, as you'll all see now.
All right, Mike, let me know when you were ready.
Ready.
Stand by.
So, one shot, one hit, and because this is old school, there's no BDC in the reticle. I'm adjusting, and you'll see in a bit that I didn't actually hit my adjustments correctly. So we're onto the 400 yard, 365 meter target now.
You'll find the orange flag. He's just bring it up one target. Bring it up and left a target.
Now, you see, I didn't turn it far enough. I'm only set to about 3 1/3, 3 1/4.
Up a half target and we're home. Hit!
There we go. Onto the 500. I just turn it by feel. So actually, I'm low. I'm set 100 yards, 100 meters short.
Ridge line. Follow the ridge line to the black lava. Bring it up and left a quarter target, just off the bottom right edge.
All the times need a reload.
Left a half target.
You see now I'm set to 400 when I think I'm set to 500.
Hit!
There we go. Safe the rifle. Grab the other one. And then it's no double taps on the 2 short and the 1 longer.
Hit!
And I am using the scope now.
Watch the wood in front of you. Hit! Hit!
1 for 1.
Hit!
Oh, missed one there.
Hit! Unload, show
There we
clear.
go. 89.11 seconds, 26th overall, 5th in Cold War. I'm happy with that. I mean, this plays to my strengths. It would have been nice to have had a DMR that was mine, because you always shoot better with your own gear than with borrowed gear. But I must say that the AR-180 I'm massively impressed with, and I think at the end we'll have a little discussion about that, because it's pretty cool. So then on to stage 8, we put the DMR away, although that was really, it worked really well. If it had been perfectly zeroed for me, that would have been absolutely superb, but loved it. Anyway, sorry, back at the plot, stage 8, which is a shield carrying stage, which is pretty cool. Never done that before.
Shooter, are you ready?
So you start with the rifle in your hand, carrying a shield, and I'm carrying it up on my shoulder. And people who couldn't do that were carrying it down by their side. So you run along here to get the blood up, turn along this track, and then you've got various shooting positions. First with the rifle, target's not far enough away to worry about the distance really. Pick up the shield, move it. Again, rest the rifle if you can. Might as well rest it on the shield. You had to use the shield as cover. You also see I'm using the little Ambidex auxiliary safety catch on the right side. That works really well.
Drop magazine.
So the last one, we drop the magazine so that we know the rifle's clear once this shot's been fired. And high value target again. Don't miss. Hit. Now we need to keep the shield, sling the rifle, and this is old school rifle slinging, but it's attached to the bottom of the pistol grip. Not ideal, but it actually works surprisingly well. Now those filed down sights with the sun to the front.
Low.
Nightmare.
Low.
This started to eat my lunch.
Way low.
Hit. Just left.
I'm struggling to see the sights and the target. The targets are in the shade.
You can hardly see the sun.
Hit.
The sun is
Drop the shield.
sort of on the front quarter. Nightmare. And then weak hand only, or as Yari calls it, the other strong hand. Difficult with that trigger.
Take your time. Forget to breathe. Smooth trigger press.
No, it doesn't look like it, but that pistol was running really sluggishly and needed to be cleaned, which I did.
Off to the right.
Hit.
Low and left. Low left. Low right. Low left.
Nightmare.
Low right. Right.
Carl had a similar issue and expended an entire stendo on these.
Can hardly see the
Smooth on
sights.
trigger.
Low left. Low right. Everything's low. Low right. Low right. Right. Low right.
There we go.
Fuck.
It is done.
172.73 seconds, so just inside the par time of 180. 88th overall and 10th in Cold War. So despite the pistol shooting absolutely eating my lunch there, I did okay.
Yesterday.
That pistol's running sluggish.
That
I think it needs clean.
172.73.
So this is stage one, called Highland Games, for reasons which will become apparent.
Stand by.
So a pistol plate at 50 yards, 45 meters. Starts all right. Flop the 20 kilo kettlebell over, and then with the rifle, there's a fairly small plate at 100 or so,
Right.
but you have to shoot it offhand, no resting. There we go. Because of the bushes, it was difficult to see where the misses were going. Just the minimum of effort from the legs and the core strength to get that thing over.
Alright.
Again, that pistol's completely eating my lunch. Preemptive reload. Let me breathe. Because I'm stopping breathing while I'm shooting, of course.
Where are they going?
They goes low left. Low.
The calls really help. Flip. That 2.75 power scope is pretty good here because it's not so powerful that you really see the wobble.
Low. Low. Go left. Deep breath.
Oh, fuck's sake. Now, I'm normally quite good at calling my shots, and I was fairly good, but there we go. Hit it first time. But on this, shooting it offhand, you don't quite know because it's a quite small target. And this was going to be the last pair.
Go left. Go on high, Rachel.
So that was par. Timeout with 2 penalties, 88th equal overall, 13th equal in Cold War. So lots of people were timing out. And I think that shows that my rifle shooting is on point. My pistol shooting with that pistol isn't. People will say I'm blaming the gear, but really the trigger was very awful and the sights have been filed down very nastily. But yeah, I'm not supposed to criticize loaned gear, but honest opinion. So our second to last stage was stage 2, which was an awesome pistol and rifle charge up a hill. Hold my T and watch this.
Shooter, are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
So we start with some
Hit.
pistol targets, 1 for 1. Run to the next line.
Hit.
1 for 1. Run up here, and then we have a high value pistol target. Most people will have to drop the mag. And then I miss it.
Show me clear.
From the sound, I probably
Clear.
winged it.
Holster.
I retained the mag because the moon dust here was just crazy. So I'm going to arrive at the point where I'm allowed to load the rifle, ready to do it. So there's 3 targets at about 100 and there's another 3 targets at about 200. Look at how flat that rifle shoots. I had not expected that.
Unload, show clear.
So 131.68, including 1 penalty. That was actually the 4th fastest raw time overall, and behind Yari by about 1 second. He also got a penalty, but he's a complete beast on the fitness front. So that put me 77th overall and 14th in Cold War. If it hadn't been for that penalty, that would have been absolutely superb. But that was possibly my favourite stage of the day. Nice mixture of accuracy and brutal physicality. Okay, so stage 8, our final stage overall, was Spinners of Doom. It was quite brutal just on the targetry front. So we start with a DMR spinner, and I'm shooting 308, which is a huge advantage.
Left and high.
This is about 200 yards or so. And the thing is that these spinners, I mean, it was possible for Fagan to get them over with 55 grain 223, but then he is an android and a shooting beast. It's not so much they're set heavy, it's there's a lot of friction in them. So if you slow down, they slow down. Made it clear, jumped over it, and then we run down the hill with the rifle to a wall here. And then there's another spinner at about 50 yards. And I'm shooting 55 grain wolf gold, and I've just got to keep it up. I've got it almost there. Seeing the back of it. And then I start missing, as I usually do with spinners. Start trying to double it. And I've lost it. And we're done. There was a triple penalty on the DMR one, but only 60-second penalties on the rest. One of these thermal mags in, 1 round,
So well.
and then stoppage.
It's gonna end well. You fucking got this. No, it's not.
I've got one more. Top round feed's fine. No. At this point, I realise I've been running the entire match with only one working mag.
Alright, we're going. We're moving.
So, no choice, got to take that penalty and go and at least attempt the pistol spinner. At about 15 yards. You can just see how heavy this is. And I've lost it and get frustrated. Naughty me. So, timeout at 180 seconds with 2 penalties, which actually put me 50th overall and 5th equal in Cold War. So, for the match, I was 1,444.42 seconds, including 6 penalties, which added up to 360 seconds, which put me 51st overall and 5th in Cold War. And I know we're all wise after the fact, but I like to think that if I'd been shooting this Browning and not the borrowed one, although I'm very thankful to Ian for lending it to me, that I would have won the division, because just on a couple of penalties, I wasn't that far behind time-wise to the first place. I think if the pistol hadn't eaten my lunch, I think I would have won that, which would have been nice. But anyway, as you can see, that was an absolutely fantastic match, and Ian says that my special power is shooting garbage tier rifles really well, and the AR-18, AR-180 does look like a garbage tier rifle, and it was kind of Armalite's. We sold the rights to the AR-15 gas system to Colt, so we can't make them anymore, so we need our own product, and we're not going to compete at the same price point, so we need to build it down to a price. So they did the AR-18, and it looks flimsy, it feels a bit flimsy, the butt on that one was a bit wobbly, but actually it ran like a champ despite the moon dust. And you can see at the end there, the rifle is absolutely covered in moon dust, but decided that it was running so well and just working the action, it was so smooth that I wasn't going to clean it. I thought the risk of cleaning it for day 2 was too great. I just kept running it, and with the mag that was running, despite the moon dust, it just ran like an absolute champ. It shot far flatter than anticipated. The muzzle device is basically a duckbill flash suppressor with no port on the bottom, so there's probably a little bit of compensation, but the bore line is quite low on the butt, and it shoots really flat. It's really light. That original scope is really clear. It's far clearer than the Brownell's Retro AR-15 carry handle scopes. Actually, I really liked it, and they are super rare here. I missed one in an auction a while back. It went for stupid money. Luckily, there's the BRN 180, which goes on an AR-15 lower. That might be a good substitute, but it was really cool, and it was really great to shoot a rifle that had been on my bucket list to shoot, and then to shoot it so well. So thank you very much, Ian, for loaning me that. That was absolutely fantastic. The socializing in the evenings was also absolutely fantastic. Some great people, new friends as well as old, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. So thank you all again. Cobalt Kinetics for the use of the range. In-range and Sinister Rifleman for the organisation, the range crew for being absolutely fantastic, and it was a pretty skeleton range crew. They did superbly despite the conditions. All the competitors for being generally brilliant. Our friends at Varostoleka for making awesome gear and supporting the match with some prizes. And yeah, most importantly, patrons who funded the trip out there. So thank you all for enabling my shooting habit. If you're not a patron and want to see more things like this, please consider becoming one. There's a link at the end and in the description below, along with a link to just the shooting. If you want to watch this again and see my Insta reactions without all my annoying blah blah in the middle. So, see you again sometime. Bye.